welcome once more this beautiful morning to the program Science in Action. Science in Action is a program which is aimed at keeping our students engaged, educated, and build that desire in them for them to pick up their studies and work harder, especially towards the upcoming exams. This project was brought up just because of the coronavirus pandemic, which the Senator Lionel Fonderson saw it as a program which is timely and badly in need. So this program is sponsored by the Senator. We have to fight the pandemic, which is now a problem, and keep your family protected. So today with me, we are talking on genetics, and with me is Ms. Fiuke Chanji. Good morning, Ms.
Good morning, Mr. Frankwala.
Welcome on the show.
Thank you very much.
And on my left-hand side is Mr. Ikomi Theodore. Good morning, sir.
Good morning to you all listeners out there. Good morning.
Okay, so here with me, these are brilliant young minds who have a lot of experience, working experience already in the field of biology, and today they've chosen a topic which is quite challenging to students, especially advanced level students, genetics. Okay, I will go ahead with these questions so that while as the program goes on, if you are smart enough to pick the answer, you can call us and win a prize. So the first question is, we'll start with the general questions, general knowledge. In which division is Tico found? Question number 1, in which division is Tico found? Question number 2, what is the name of the Dio of Tico? What is the name of the Dio of Tico? Question number 3, 10 fishes are in a tank. 10 fishes are in a tank, 2 drown, 4 swim away, and 3 die. How many fishes are left? How many fishes are left? Then the next question is, what is a gene? This now is relying on the topic which we are about to treat. What is a gene? I don't mean a gene trouser. So if you follow us, you'll be able to understand what a gene is. A gene is spelled G-E-N-E. Then the second question is, what is mutation? What is mutation when it comes to genetics? Okay, you can call us or text us on the number 650-330-508. 650-330-508. We'll be waiting to hear from you. So, Ms. Chanji, back to you once more. So, what do you have to offer us? What is genetics all about? Because a lot of people talk about genetics, and I believe we see it around us. So, can you please give us a light into what genetics is all about?
Thank you, Mr. Kwala. Good morning once more, fellow listeners. Genetics is a study of inheritance and variation. It can be basically described as the study of heredity. That's how characteristics are passed from parents to offspring. So, genetics is a very interesting topic because it affects our everyday lives. It is the essence of our being, who you are, the way your voice sounds, your complexion, your height, all of that. Genetics is accountable for it. So studying and understanding genetics is going to help us to be able to understand why we have certain diseases in our families, why some of us are tall and some are short, why we have certain complexions traits, and yes, the physical traits. So by the end of this session in the studio today, we should be able to know the meaning of genetics. We should be able to understand the importance of genetics to our society. We should be able to define the basic terms included in genetics. We should understand the concept of genetic variation, and we should be able to describe some applications of genetics. So, as I earlier mentioned, genetics is the study of inheritance and variation. Inheritance is the act of acquiring traits from a parent. Inheritance is the act of acquiring traits by an offspring from a parent. While variation are the differences found between members of the same species. Variation are the differences found between members of the same species. Hereditary as well is how characteristics are passed from parents to offspring. The importance of genetics. Genetics is a field of biology as it studies the various traits and how they are passed from generation to generation. The gene is the purpose of the gene is to transmit information from one generation to another. So a gene is described as the basic unit of inheritance. A gene is described as a basic unit of inheritance, and an allele is an alternative form of a gene. An allele is an alternative form of a gene. Let's take for an example, if we are talking about the traits which are inherited from parents by offspring, we have, for example, the trait of height. If we denote the height, for height we have tall people and short people. So if we denote height with tall with a capital T, and we denote short with a small t, an allele is going to be each of those various t's, because a gene is always in its diploid condition. So the two t's, the capital T and the small t, are the genes for height, but the alleles are the different components of that gene. So like the height is the gene in general, and the various alleles, which is the short, which is either the tall or the short, that's what comprises of that gene. So an allele is an alternative form of a gene. The locus is the position of a gene on a found on a chromosome. Is where, at what point on a chromosome a particular gene is located. Over to the dominant gene. A dominant gene is an allele that expresses itself by influencing the phenotype of an organism, even in the presence of an alternative allele. For example, someone might be tall, but that person is a carrier of a short gene. Carrier in the sense that if that person mates with a short person, they might have short children. That's because the alleles in the person's tall genes were not homozygous. He had heterozygous genes. He had the capital T and the small t. So he's tall, but he's a carrier. So because he's a carrier, the dominant gene is the gene for tallness. And that's why phenotypically, that's physically, the person is represented as a tall person.
As a tall person. Okay, if I can understand you well, genes are actually what determines our physical look. Yes. A lot of things, our hair, the color of our hair, our eyes. That's why children tend to look like their parents. Then now the allele is actually what plays the game.
Yes.
The allele is the person in the field who actually determines, okay, though
this
I am
is how
present,
they'll be combined.
Yes, but this is how they will combine. And if I remember well, when we were in class, the biology, when it comes to genetics, Mr. Tudor, there is something about probability. It's like they have to cross them. They play like, okay, if this and this are together, this is a probability of having these children. Let's say we have a tall person and a short person. Now, depending on their alleles, it will determine the probability of them having, let's say if they have 4 kids, the probability of one being tall and the others being short. So yes. I think that's where the allele comes to play, as you
Yes, that's where the allele comes to play, and we'll see that a little later into our topic when we'll be describing the Punnett square and Mendel's experiment.
Okay. So from what I've gotten, for little things I've gotten from what you have said just now, that means I know most of you ladies, you people, you always like to, my guy should be tall. I want a very tall, handsome young man. But from what I've seen now, from what I've gotten from you right now, it means, ladies, if you are looking for a tall guy, that guy can still have short genes in him, so that you will be sitting there. Oh, my guy is tall, means you are going to have tall children. You are there sitting and not knowing that guy is having tall genes and you start having short children, and you are wondering why. So go and check his genes. If he has short genes,
they're not the nervous kids.
Yeah, yeah.
And to check it means you have to look at the family, because there's a saying: if you want to know how your wife will look in, let's say, in the next 10 or 20 years, look at her mother. Yeah, yes, something like that. So thanks for that. Then let me explain something about the Mendel's law. Mr. Ekomi just mentioned the Mendel's law, and Mendel's law is something very, it's what genetics is built on. Mendel's law states the characteristics of an organism are determined by internal factors, which are in pairs, and only one pair is in a single gamete. Now, those factors which he's talking about, I think, are the alleles, because that's actually what determines how the alleles occur in your system. That's what determines how you look. As you said, the T, let's say capital T stands for tall.
For tall.
Yes, then the small T now stands for short. No, but that's not fair. Capital T will have stood for short, then the small T stands for tall.
Because it has to be in capital to reflect its dominance. So it implies that you have the genes which are more dominant in you at the small t's, the genes for shortness.
But the tall genes are still in me. It's possible that the tall genes are still in me.
If your phenotype has already reflected you as short, then there's a probability that you don't have the genes for the big T, the tall in you. So it's most likely that most of your offspring will be short. So we were talking about dominant genes. Now we move to recessive genes. Recessive genes are alleles that can only express itself in a phenotype only in the presence of a similar allele. For example, we were talking about tall and short. In someone who has, since the tall gene is the dominant gene over the short, a short person cannot carry the big T. When somebody physically looks short, means the person has the two small T's, which is considered as the recessive gene. A recessive gene, for example, a tall person can be a carrier of a short gene.
Yes.
But why is there no midway between tall and short? There's no such thing as a medium height. Like when a girl wants to describe her guy, she's like, no, he's of medium height. He's not medium, sister girl. He's either tall or short. And
if I can add, even though you have those genes, there are times when the environment influences your phenotype. That's your physical trait. Because I might have a short gene, but from early on I play a lot of basketball, and it makes me to grow a little bit more than why you guys laughing? And it makes me to grow a little bit more than how I was actually supposed to. Because let's take the example. Most of the times you see children are taller than their parents.
Okay.
You see, they've taken the trait from their parents. You see, but now the type of activity which the children carry out makes them to have an extension. To have an extension.
When they're talking about children being taller than their parents, we should also remember that there was some point at the parents' life that they were as tall as the children. The interesting thing about human beings is as we grow bigger. We get to a certain point and it's at a standstill, and then the curve starts reducing. We start reducing in size and shape, and it's because of muscular atrophy.
Which deforms.
Yes. So the explanation of children being taller than their parents is actually because of that atrophy. As people grow older, their muscles start to atrophy. Their muscles start reducing in size, causing them. That's what causes us to have that perception that we are taller than our parents.
Okay.
Yes, take your parents' ID card, look at their height when they were your age, and look at your own height. It will probably be similar.
Okay. Thank you for that. And one thing I want to let the listeners know today is it's important to understand the genetics of your family, because, as she said earlier, there are times when diseases are part of your genetic constitution. They are in your DNA.
Yes.
Right? You are so diseases are there. And if now you discover in your family, let's say there's something like overweight or obesity, thank you for that.
In your family, because those things are transmitted from the parent.
And it is under the sponsorship of Senator Lionel Fondersen. This program is aimed at keeping the students engaged in their studies, encourage them, and meet them at the comfort of their homes. We are talking about genetics. We have some questions which we will set aside, and there are cash prizes and kits to help you fight the coronavirus, like hand sanitizers and hand wash. The questions are, we'll start with the general questions. In which division is Tico found?